what's up everyone? Welcome back to Let Joe Talk, or if you're brand new, welcome. I apologize for there not being an episode last week because last weekend was my birthday, and I didn't necessarily have the time to film a brand new episode because that entire weekend I was entirely booked. I usually normally film the videos on the weekends because I have more free time / it's more empty in my house to properly record this without any interruptions. So that's why I wasn't able to do any new episodes. So that's why. So now I'm back this week, and today I want to do something a little bit different because I want to talk about Halloween. And so we're releasing this on Tuesday on the Halloween stuff instead of the usual Thursday slot. I was going to talk about this last week, but I didn't have time to do so. So I'm moving it to this week, so it'll only be on a Tuesday for the current schedule of Let Joe Talks premiering on Thursday. So, alright, here we go. So as you know already, Halloween is that morally fun time of year where kids get a shit ton of candy, and you get to dress up and people won't look at you weirdly. Except you're at Comic-Con. I remember when I was a kid, I loved Halloween so much. I loved dressing up as characters. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. I'm forgetting what other characters I dressed up as, but it was a fun time, as usually my tradition is. I get dressed up, I usually am with some friends or my family, and then we head out and get some, of course, go trick-or-treating for at least a good 2 hours, and that was, like, amazing to get to bond with my family, or my friends, and being able to dress up as one of my favorite superheroes. And at the end of the day, in terms of my tradition with my family, we ordered Chinese food from the best place in New York, and it would pretty much be a great thing, Halloween. However, of course, as you get older, you start, at least for a little brief period of time, you don't really give a damn about Halloween. Usually this comes around middle school or high school, where at the beginnings of high school, where generally you don't really care about Halloween anymore. Well, at least some people do, but a majority start falling out of it because usually I see Halloween as two different types of celebration. You either are trick-or-treating, that's usually for kids, or you're attending parties, which could either be a social gathering or with alcohol. So yeah, so that's and when you're in middle school or when you're in beginning high school, you really don't, you're too old to go trick-or-treating, but you're not old enough to go to these parties, if I have to say it like that. So yeah, for me, I dropped out of Halloween since I was 12, and I haven't really gone back since. I mean, I'm always interested in the idea of dressing up. It's just usually the time, it's because of financial reasons, you know, getting a new costume every single year because you're always growing, you're always aging. Your interests are different, so obviously you're going to have to get a new costume every year. And depending how stylistic you want to go, it does get a little cost. You have to start thinking about, like, how much am I going to spend, how much am I able to afford, that sort of thing. So for the past 8 or 9 years, I wasn't able to go dress up because usually there isn't. It just costs a lot of money, or by the time I'm interested in getting something, the amount of time it would have taken me to get a costume ready there isn't the time frame. Plus, now that I'm in work and school, there just isn't enough time. There isn't time for me. I would like to, but that's not the focus of this video. My focus on today's video is I want to talk about, well, today's episode is about, I've noticed Halloween has definitely changed since I was a kid. Obviously, as my generation are currently just partying for Halloween, I've noticed that every single passing year, it just becomes more and more. I see less kids on the streets trick-or-treating. I used to see like dozens and dozens of kids like passing through, knocking on houses, getting candy. And there was, of course, as every year goes by, it's just like I started noticing less and less and less, and I maybe would see at least a dozen, maybe even less. Now, of course, that isn't to say my neighborhood is barren, but, you know, generally speaking, one of my neighborhoods usually has a lot of kids, so you would assume that that there is going to be a lot of trick-or-treaters. But at least I haven't noticed. So that's the thing. I've noticed that kids are... Now, I'm not saying that every kid is dropping out of Halloween. I'm just saying that it's not a big thing anymore as it is. Now, granted, Halloween's still a big holiday. Kids still get free candy, but I think we have to start thinking about this in a more economic sense. Now, this isn't going to be an economic show or anything, but it's just me, what I think it is. I don't do research on the majority of the things I talk about on this show. But I do believe that, as everyone knows already, every single year we've noticed that the economically we're not doing so great. So there's just like mortgages are up, rent is up, a lot of things are getting more and more expensive to produce and to buy, obviously. So it just becomes a factor of limiting your budget. Now, sadly to say, when you're a parent and you want to give your kid to dress up for Halloween and go trick-or-treating, sometimes maybe they don't even have the money. Party City literally overprices their costumes. Like, I get it, I know. Fabric, the people who make it, and they gotta make a profit. I understand that. Don't worry about that. But it's just that they really overpriced it, considering the fact where we are economic-wise. I used to remember each of my, because I have a sister, she and I, when it was like that brief time period of me and her both buying costumes, usually we have to spend up to the upper range of $200 to $300, and that's per year. Now, $200 to $300, when you're a kid, it seems like, oh, my parents are going to buy it. That's nothing. But then when you start growing up and you realize when you start working, holy shit, that is a week's salary. That is something that I could be getting food with. I could be helping paying my rent towards. And you just slowly realize that it just becomes really difficult to start buying them. And, of course, kids want the expensive stuff. They want to be Spider-Man. They want to be Captain America. They want to be Thor. They want to be Iron Man. They want to have all the cool accessories. And it's like, it does cost a lot of money. So it just really hurts that they're not able to take that into account. Like, there's a lot of kids, like, I do believe it's a tradition for kids to attend Halloween. And I do believe there is a minority or a good amount of kids that can't do that because the parents can't afford actual costumes. Now, granted, you could just take a white blanket, cut some holes in it, there you go, you have a ghost. You could do that, but some kids don't want to do that. And maybe some parents just prefer just buying candy and just, here you go, here's your candy, don't even go out. And besides, as many of you know already, crime rates, well, not crime rate, more like, it's not safe to go at night. It's never safe to go at night. Unless you're in a crowded area, which, however, as the years go by and more kids, and they're starting to get less and less kids, it sort of just becomes that perfect opportunity for criminals to try and do something. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a risk, and as a parent, you have to start factoring in, this is the world we're living in, and we have to adjust, and that really does suck. Now, of course, I do see people my age or older, they're throwing Halloween parties, they're dressing up, some are dressing cheaply, some are dressing more expensively, and that's fine, because they earn their money, they're still, well, at least for my generation, we're still young, we don't have rents or mortgages to pay, so they're able to do that. But when in terms of kids, it really does suck that they're not able to, like, to be able to go on. And it really does suck, because honestly, every single year, I buy candy just to, like, well, then again, I don't buy decorations for Halloween because it's literally for one day. I mean, or at least a week. I'm not the person who sets up Halloween decoration literally a month in advance. It's like, eventually Christmas, you're going to start seeing advertisement, songs on the radio, or whatever in September. And Halloween is literally that, I don't know, it's not a big holiday, but it's a pretty important holiday for kids, at least, because they're having the memories of trick-or-treating with your family, with your friends, getting free candy, eating all that candy that same night, and then getting a stomachache the next morning. It's something that all kids, in my belief, have to go through, and it really does suck that it's just dwindling over the years, and it's the same thing like movie theaters that, like, a lot of people say movie theaters are out-stylish, they're going out of style, they should just start doing everything digital. It really does suck, because as the world evolves, as the world changes, things have to change too. But I do believe Halloween is like one of those holidays that at least kids should be able to enjoy, you know. At least that should be like, it should pass on with every generation. At least in my opinion, I'm not sure really. Some people might just give up on Halloween, saying that Halloween's just a random day, just like another day. It's not really that special. Well, that's in my case. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This week, next week we'll be back to the regular schedule. If you like this video, like it, favorite, and share it with your friends. And if you like the content, you like Let Joe Talk, please subscribe. Yeah, that's it. So, see you guys next week.